Hey everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. This is like redemption take 2, I think. Yes, because this is my third time trying it. And today I'm going to take all of your advice and go 100 grams to 30 grams of water. So that's 3 to 1 exactly. I'm not going to go by the calculator that I tried last time because that did not work. I'm not going to just wing it because that clearly didn't really work. I mean, it's my first bowl is very useful. It's great. I mean, I'm using it every day, but I know that the calculations were wrong. So we're going to do this again. But before I start, I got another package in the mail today from Karen Yanni. She's always sending me goodies. I can't believe her. Anyway, I want to show you what she gave me. I'm so thankful to her. She's always thinking of us. So this was to Don, and she made a red, white, and blue screw top jar for him. And not only is it a jar, but she filled it with patriotic Tootsie Rolls for him. So yes, he will be enjoying them. Thank you so much, Karen. And for me, she didn't just send me one set of these UV resins. No, she didn't even send me 2 sets. She sent me 3 sets of these UV resins. She said she way overbought, so I'm thinking, what did she do? Buy 10 sets? Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm going to have so much UV resin to be using. It's going to be so much fun. So thank you so much, Karen. I really appreciate it. And then secondly, I got a lot of questions. I know in video a couple days ago, I mentioned that I was allergic to UV resin. Only UV resin. So I wanted to explain, maybe some of you are. I didn't want to go on here and talk about my allergies, but I'm thinking maybe it might help some of you. So I just want to kind of tell you what happens to me in case it's happening to you and you didn't figure it out. So this has been happening for probably 6 to 8 months, and I could not figure out what was going on. So I would just, out of the blue, my hands would be like swollen, red, itchy. There would be blisters on them, and it would last for weeks at a time. Now, I already knew I was allergic to acrylic nails. I knew that years and years and years ago. What I did not know is the same thing that goes in acrylic nails is in the UV resin. And anytime that the actual resin touches it doesn't even have to touch my skin, you guys. It goes right through my nitrile gloves. I don't know how it is, but it is. So not only does the liquid resin go through the glove, the powder that you get from sanding the UV resin goes through that glove way worse. And I figured it out not too long ago. So I made sure that I was always using gloves with UV resin, which I usually was anyway, but if I was just like sanding a little edge off, I didn't really do that because it was already cured. And then I realized that's when it was flaring up, and it lasts for like a month on me. And they itch for a month, they're swollen for a month, they eventually start splitting. And then you could see this one is still healing. So then the skin all ends up, peeling off. So if you've seen my hands like that, that's why. So I have finally figured it out. It is only the UV resin, and I think I'm going to start double gloving when I use that. So if you're experiencing any kind of symptoms on your skin when you're using resin, try to narrow it down, because I'm fine with the Eco Pores. I'm fine with my tumbler resin that's not UV resin. I'm fine with the casting resin, with the 4-hour cure. It doesn't matter. Any other resin, mine happens to be the UV resin, and it's very, very, I'm not going to say painful, but the itch is so severe that sometimes I can't stand it, and I just can't wait for it to go away. So be very careful, use your PPE. If you think you're like allergic to something, double up your gloves, get a different glove. I actually bought a different glove on Temu. They are very, very thick. The problem with them is nothing will go through them, but I cannot control my camera on my phone. It won't register my finger touching the button to turn it on and off, so I can't use them for it when I'm videoing anyway. So I just wanted to put that in there. I hope I'm not taking too long, but let's get started with today's video. And today I'm going to try this. I bought this specifically for this casting powder. I've had it probably a month now. And this holds about 8 fluid ounces of whatever you're going to pour. So I think if I can get this done properly, I'm going to make a little succulent garden on top. And I'm thinking I want to do like a very minimal succulent garden. I don't know how to explain it. So I only want a couple colors. I want this to be teal and white. And I may even top it with this dragonfly glaze that I really like. It's like a color shifting, but it's very subtle. Actually, it's on this. This is what it looks like when it's on something. So it's very pretty. This was my not so redemption video, and that's what I got out of it. But that's what the dragonfly glaze looks like on the casting powder. So I'm thinking about that. I don't know. I just have it set aside in case I want it. But what I'm thinking is if this actually works, I'm going to try to marble it. And it works and I can get it done right, then I'm going to make like the succulent garden to go with it, but just like 2 tones, 2 or 3 tones, white, teal, maybe a tan. I'm not sure. I want to keep it very simple, put a little bit of sand or pebbles or something in there, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I got ahead of myself last time and I was like boasting, this is going to be my redemption. And then I failed and I ended up getting this and another little elk out of it. So that's where I'm at with that. So I'm going to set this aside and I am going to measure, and you guys are going to be my witnesses that I'm measuring it properly. I need to move a few things. My little mascots need to move. I did get a whisk this time. I had a hard time getting to the bottom with the stick last time because it was so big. So all I need to do is end up with at least 8 fluid ounces. So I'm going to actually, let's see, grams. I'm going to do grams. Yes. I'm going to put maybe up to 8 ounces just in the powder, I'm thinking, because when you add the water to it, I noticed that it definitely gets less. So let's see what I'm going to get at the 8 ounce mark. And we're going to just kind of round it off to the nearest 100. Let's see, where am I here? I'm at 200 grams and I'm just about at 8 ounces. So I need to go a little bit more. So maybe I'll do, let's see, where am I at? I'll do 300 grams. Okay, 300 grams. Look, I have enough to do another project. Yay, I was getting nervous. I was going to have to quit this stuff because I wasn't getting it. Okay, so 300 grams. So 30 grams per 100. So that's 90 grams of water I'm going to add to this. Whoops, I need to reset this. Okay, so now I'm going to add 90 grams of water. And I realize you do not, when it's thick, you don't have a lot of time. Oops, I'm on ounces. What am I doing? Okay, I'm at 60. And like I said, obviously there's a lot of wiggle room with this stuff because I totally took advantage of that. All right, that's 92 grams. Let's see if this is going to stir it up better. See, this is really thick. Let me move this out of the way. This is really, really thick, and I will not be able to pour it. That's what I don't understand. It says 3 to 1, but in all reality, it is more than 3 to 1. I need to get a stick now, because now it's like, it's still really thick, you guys. Let me try it with that. Is it supposed to be that thick? I can't imagine it is, or how in the world are you supposed to pour something that you can't even stir? So you all saw that I followed the rules, and it's too thick. So I'm going to add a little bit more water. My stuff has been curing just fine with the extra water. See, I just added a tad bit more, and that seems like it would be perfect. I'm just going to make sure there's no lumps. And it's drippy, but it's not clumpy. And I don't want to do this too long because you don't have that long when it's... Okay, so what I'm going to do, move this stuff. I'm going to try to marble this. I hope it works. I'm just going to do it like I kind of marble my white resin. Put a few drops in and then stir and then pour. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. Now let's pour it in here. And I'm just, what I don't like about it is when it's really thick, you end up with bubbles on your edges. But I might end up with a good marble. If I didn't even check to see if I had 8 ounces, you guys. Completely forgot. See, I get so nervous. And it's not going to completely fill it up. It's close. But I do need to fill this up because this bottom isn't that thick if it's not full. Like it's right underneath there. So I'm going to quickly, and I don't think I have to be quick. Like if it cures, it'll still stick, I'm thinking. I'm not even going to measure because I kind of know the consistency that I need. I'm going to do 2 scoops. They weren't full scoops. And I'm just going to add a little water. And that wasn't enough water. So I really like the fact that this is very forgiving for people like me. And I'm not wasting the product. So that looks pretty much the same consistency I had before. I'm just going to drip in a little bit of blue. 2 drops this time. Stir and pour. And it should, see, the other one is already setting up really fast. And that is almost the perfect amount. It's actually the perfect amount. I couldn't have got it any better. Can this possibly be my redemption video? Nice, 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 nice. Of course, it's kind of full to be tapping out bubbles. Hopefully there are none down there. So it did come up over the edges a little bit, but I'm not going to worry. You know what? This stuff is so easy to sand. I'm going to leave it alone. So I will come back. I might, once it's hard, I think I'm going to throw it in my curing machine for just a little while because I get nervous unmolding them, especially if I added just a tinge too much water. So let's see what happens when it's cured. I'm going to take a chance and jump the gun here because this is nice and solid, but it's still warm. It hasn't been that long, maybe an hour. It's definitely still wet, but it looks pretty good. I can kind of see the marbling through here. So I'm going to take the chance that hopefully this doesn't break when I demold it. And I'm going to pour some succulents out of the same stuff. I don't have high hopes because of the thickness of this stuff, but I want to try. I tried to get a mica powder this color. I don't have one. And I don't know which ones to mix to get this color. So I really want it to be the same as this. And what I want to do is do some in white, some in this, and then some in this wheat color. So I'm going to wing it, you guys, because I don't need that much. And my calculations weren't working anyway. So what's the difference at this point? I'm going to get my stick. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. Maybe just, 1 scoop at a time. Because you don't need that much for these little things. And I'm going to pour a couple white first. And then a couple in this teal color. And then maybe I'll mix some more up and do a little bit with that mica powder. Seeing that most of the people's homes these days are in this color scheme, it seems to be very popular to have blues and whites and tans. So that's what I'm going for. All right, so this, and the thing is, I don't know if I can spray alcohol into these first. You know what? I'm gonna try one. I need a little bit more powder. It's just a little too much water. Like barely, I'm just putting barely anything in there. Because I want it to be stable. I don't want them to break, especially these little things. Maybe a little bit more powder. Let me move this out of the way so I don't break it. Because I want to have it have integrity when I pull it out. That looks good. I think that's about what it's supposed to feel like. It's kind of like a plastery type. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try spraying. I'm going to try spraying it with alcohol and see if that does anything. Because I know it works with regular resin, but this stuff is like super duper thick. And I'm just going to pound it on my counter here. Wiggle it and jiggle it and swish it. And then finish filling it up. I'm just going to do a couple of each color. I don't know how many actually are going to fit in there, to be honest with you. So maybe I'll do that little one. I'm basically filling it up halfway, smashing it on my counter, wiggling it, smushing it, and then filling it the rest up. And if it doesn't work, I really didn't waste a whole lot of product here. All right, so now I'm going to color the rest. And do the same thing in a couple more molds. I don't really want this marbled if I don't have to. I just want the same color. But it may just marble itself no matter what. Let's see which ones I'll do. That one. Kind of how I do it with regular resin to get it all in those little tiny leaves. Then I'll get another cup because I don't want to mix my wheat color in the blue color. That one looks good. Let me move it out of the way. That one's a little overfilled. So I will have to fix that. Let's try this one. Have a whole lot left, so I will be very surprised if these don't have bubbles. All right. Oh, I'm overfilling all of them. I got just a tiny bit left. Let's just do this little one. And then I'll mix up some more to do the bigger ones. I have no idea which ones I'm going to use though until we can unmold that thing. Oh, I don't think I have enough. Maybe I can get a little bit out of this one and pour it into here. Ah, perfect. Always a solution, always. I'm just missing a tiny little bit. That's okay. And there's nothing left in this cup. Okay, let me get one more cup. We're gonna do the same thing. I'll do, these ones are a little bigger. A scoop and a half. I'm almost out, you guys. I don't have any more. I hope I don't, oops, I need another stick. I hope I don't ruin this last little bit because I do need it. Okay, that was definitely not enough water. I think after you use this enough, you kind of know. That was too much water. You can kind of feel what's right and what's wrong in the cup. It's only taken me 3 tries, but you know what? I'm going to put my mica powder in now. Dump a little bit in. Actually, you need extra because I think it's going to cure a little lighter, obviously, because of the white. I will be adding some more powder to this because it is too thin. I've never used this mica powder before, this color. I didn't even know it existed. I don't even know where it came from. Oh, this one came from Renee. No wonder why I've never seen it before. I just got it. All right, a little more powder. Get it a little thicker. And I think this is only going to be enough for like one of these big ones. So I may have to do this all over again. You know what? I'm going to do it now because I want the color to be uniform. So I'm going to just do, I don't have much left. This is going to be like all of it. So hopefully I'm going to save a tiny bit at the bottom just because if I put too much water in, I'm going to need it. Too thick. Tiny bit more. That'll be perfect, I think. If I don't have enough for both, then I guess we won't be using them both. Just gonna put a little more color in and then pour. I'm thinking if you have the right consistency, it seems like you get about 4 to 5 minutes of working time to be safe. All right, which one do I want more, I guess is the question. I always like that one done. Let's do this one first. Yeah, that's going to take almost all of that. I'm not going to have enough to do that one, so I will do this little tower one. And if the alcohol actually ruins the pour, then I'll re-pour these with regular resin. I just can't use that coloring in regular resin, which is why I'm using this. Okay. Oops, a little too much. Perfect. I just have a tiny little bit left. Let me see if I could find something. Actually, I have this one. Let's try it. I wasn't going to use it in here, but we could always make a magnet out of it. Little cactus. And I still have a tiny bit more. All right, I'll find something to do with it. I'll come back when everything's ready to look at. Okay, guys, I'm nervous. It's time to demold everything. I did do this little one just to see if it was ready. It's pretty solid. I mean, I think they're ready. They've been drying for hours and hours and hours. So I just don't know. I'm not used to working with this stuff, so I don't know how fragile it is. Oh, look at that. The alcohol worked. That does not even have one bubble on the tips of that flower. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Let's hope they're all that good. Yes. That one's good too. I just have to, oh, trim's so easy. I like that. Comes right off. Look at that. No bubbles. That is so awesome. This one had some spillage that's coming off on the top, so I'm just gonna wipe it off so it doesn't get all over everything. All right. Oh, good. Look at this. It's great. I don't know. This could be my redemption. Perfect. Beautiful. We're going to bring these colors out though with that dragonfly glaze. That one's good, although I don't think I'll be using it in this because it's got a flat back. And I don't think, yeah, and oh no, if I poured another one, it wouldn't match up. I know a few people have asked me that in the past and I never checked, but yeah, it wouldn't match up. This one I'm nervous about because it's so tall. Might break. It didn't. Look at that. No bubbles. Oh, this is amazing. All right, one more. That's a nice soft mold. I like this mold. That is great. This one I'm going to put it right on top after I glaze them and trim them. Now for the moment of truth. The Big Daddy. I just hope it doesn't break. I'm just going to try to roll this down as gently as possible because now that I have succulents, I don't want to mess this up. Come on. So gentle. Oh my gosh. Look at this marbling. Hang on a minute. OMG. Man. I like this mold. Look at the marbling. It's subtle, but it's beautiful. Look at that. I'm just going to take my little knife and trim the edge. It comes right off. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Now I'm going to have to order more because I'm completely out. Now that I know kind of what I'm looking for when I mix it, now I want to make some more stuff. I wonder if I could just break it off and then trim. Yeah, look at that. Breaks right off. Get rid of that little jagged edge. I don't think I'm going to seal the inside of this because I'm going to fill it with filler so I could fill it with some gravel. Look at the bottom. It is so pretty. Now I will say, let me look at the color in the bottle. Oh, it's close, I guess. It's close. I didn't think it was going to be true to color, but look at that. It actually is. All right, so we are going to move some things. Clean this up a little bit. I'm going to get my glaze out and paint some glaze on these. I do need to trim a few things. Let me trim some stuff up and then I'll come back with my glaze. So I did want to mention this was curing on this heat mat for multiple hours under a cover. So kind of like in a curing machine. So this stuff is like solid as a rock. And it's doesn't feel cold, wet, or anything. So I don't think it's going to hurt at all to go ahead and glaze these today. So I'm just going to take my little paintbrush and get this glaze on. The one I chose is called Violet Blue Green Shift. There's like a lot of sparkle in here, and then when it's dry, oh no! If I don't break it first. When it's dry, it's iridescent. It's very, very pretty, color shifting. So let me get these all painted up. I will put you on a little fast forward. And then as soon as everything's dry, then we're going to go ahead and start filling that bowl up. All right, so I put 2 coats on everything, and look at how that shines. It is so pretty all over it. So pretty. And all these are the same way. I did glue the little flower on the top of this one, but see that shimmer on them all? I don't know how many I'm going to use, but I filled this with florist foam, and then I'm going to take some of this gravel because there's still gaps in there. This is just random gravel. I'm going to kind of fill up those gaps so I don't have to waste much resin. And I think what I'm going to top it with is this crushed shell that I got instead of gravel this time, because the last one I did gravel. But I want to do something a little different this time, see what it looks like. I'm just gonna shove all this down in there. This literally came from a driveway somewhere here in Florida. So I don't think they're gonna miss it. I was trying to fill up all these gaps just so everything doesn't fall when I do fill it up. I mean, I might lose some, but that's okay. All right, so, and then once I have my resin and my shell in place, I'm just gonna plop these little flowers right on top and let them cure on the inside. I mean, not on the inside, but cure together. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. Let me see how we're going to, I don't know how many are going to fit, put it that way. Oh, I might fit just all of them. Okay, so they are all going to fit. Maybe I'll just go around the outside with these. And the inside with that. That one may not fit. Anyway, I'll figure it out when the time comes. Now I need to just figure out how much resin I need to mix up. And I'm just going to mix up like 3 ounces maybe. And get a whole bunch of shell in there. Yep, let me do that. I mixed up 3 ounces of resin, and I'm going to dump a massive amount of this in here because I want it like a paste. I don't want any extra resin floating on the top because it doesn't need to be like that thin. Probably gonna use this whole jar. I've got a whole bunch more though, so it's okay. I'm just gonna put the rest in, and that should be the perfect amount. I'm gonna spread it over the top and stick in my succulents. And I did bring over my seashells and stuff, and I may fill in a few gaps. Okay, that's enough. Now I have extra. Of course I do. Should I make a seashell sandy? A seashell elk? Do I have 2 ounces? I do have 2 ounces. I wonder what it would look like. I don't know. Okay, let's see. I just really... I want to place them in. Actually, maybe I won't use that one. I do want to use it, but look at that. It's going to come out. I need to take some of this out. It is going to come out, and I don't want to ruin my edges here. So I did not need that much. I domed it. I shouldn't have domed it. And I'm going to go back and clean off those edges. So I don't want that drying on there. So I guess you don't need this much. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Clean that off. Okay. And I think I'm just going to go around with all these little succulents. That one is not going to fit properly. I don't know if I want this one on, but look at the shimmer on that. Oh, it's so pretty. I mean, I guess there would be a back and a front. I don't really want a back and a front. Let me get some seashells and see how they look. And I'm just going to randomly put some in there, fill up some of that space. Oh, this one's stuck together with some resin or something. Let me see here. Kind of want to keep it in the same color family, since I'm going for these 3 colors. Put some white shells in. Maybe some of these. That for you. And shall I put some pearls in? Why not? Might look pretty. Oh, it's coming over the edge again. Oops. Sometimes less is more. I know. I know. Let me grab my spray bottle here. Pop some of them bubbles. I think that'll be good though. I'm just gonna wipe the edge of this. Hopefully this alcohol doesn't wipe off my glaze. What do you think, guys? I'll hold it to the side later, not right now. It will all come out. Let me see if there's anything else I could put in here. I have some iridescent shells. Little white ones. But I need some tweezers. Oh yeah, I forgot I kept some over here. Because I want them to go the right way up. Which of course it went the wrong way immediately. Just a couple. Since they're in the same color family. These are like mother of pearl shells. I got these down in Venice on the island. Little gift shop. And they sell so many different shells down there. All right, let's turn it. Grab my little pearl out of there. It's sinking. There it goes. Couple more and I'll be done. One there. I need one over here. All right, that should be enough. I'm sure it's more than enough actually. Now I just want to wipe that again. I need to find something to do with my extra resin. And then we're gonna let this just cure here. Hopefully that little guy stays standing straight and he's not crooked when I come back. All right, be back when it's dry. Everything is ready to show you guys. I did unmold the little elk or moose or deer or whatever you want to call him. I'm calling this one Shelly because I use shell. Although, see what happens when you don't fill up your resin with as much stuff as you want to fill it with. So you're going to get this layer that floats to the surface because he was upside down. So he's got this little clear, foggy layer at the bottom of him. So Shelly is not perfect, but none of us are we? Then I made some shells with my shells. So we have a seashell, a starfish, and oops, I meant to trim these and I forgot. And another shell. So those were made up from the shell. And then I had a little bit of leftover of the powder. So I made the earrings and I put the same dragonfly glaze on them to seal them. And then I put, I don't know if you could see, but there's a tiny little sparkly starfish in the earrings. And then I did coat the back with the same glaze and the sides, so everything is sealed in. Then we got one with a butterfly. Isn't that pretty how it iridescently shines? And then this is really blingy. I did a blingy turtle with a blingy pinch bail. Super pretty. And the back is done. And one more with a seashell. Super pretty. I had some leftovers from something else I was doing, so I did make a few of these spoons. Now this was clear with my crushed crystal. I did paint the back though because I don't like to see the magnets from behind. So that's those three. Those are still drying. And here is the final product of our little garden. What do you guys think? Everything is iridescent. Everything's dry. I'm in love with the vase more than anything. I didn't do the bottom yet. I was waiting like a couple days before I glaze the bottom and seal it in. But anyway, guys, let me know. Did I redeem myself finally? Did I finally figure this stuff out? I'm gonna have to order more so I could try some other things. All right, well, thanks for coming in for a third time to see what I'm gonna mess up. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.